Chit, chit, chit. Chit, chit, chit. Chit, chit, chit.
think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep
Chit.
my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Good morning and welcome to Wamberal Cemetery. On behalf of Catherine and all family members and loved ones, we thank you for coming here today, especially those who join us, and family and loved ones watching on live streaming. Know that we miss you and we hold you in our hearts. My name is Maureen and I'm honoured to be your celebrant. Before this celebration of life and love begins, there are family members and loved ones unable to be present, and we would like to invite them to join in on this beautiful ceremony, and they will all be represented by the lighting of the candle. I now invite Catherine to please come forward and light the candle. Perfect. Well done. Thanks, Catherine. The light from this candle is a beacon that will guide and protect us. When it is shared, the light never diminishes and always warms us with love. Today, we gather in a common bond to pay tribute, to honour, to grieve, to remember special times shared as we celebrate the life of a much-loved, sweet, gentle, caring, selfless, independent, honest, highly intelligent, good, lovable, petite lady who has been sadly lost to us. And the very special lady I speak of is Anne Emily Hyndes, warmly known as Mum, Annie and Auntie Anne, depending on where she sits in your heart. You know, sometimes people come into our lives and before we realise it, they have made an impression, a memory or a mark on our hearts and in our minds, just simply being who they are. And the longer people we really care about, who are a part of our lives, the more we can feel their absence and miss them when they are gone. I believe, and I'm sure you will all agree, the most important thing and Anne's greatest achievement in her life was her family. For she breathed life, love and heart into her family. Anne and Mum knew more than anyone that love and honesty make good people. and Anne's life was a lesson in loyalty, love and kindness. Anne was always willing to help and support those around her. She was forever putting the needs of others before her own, and she did this willingly with a very happy heart. Anne was also a lady who just enjoyed the simple pleasures that life offered. And here is gardening. Anne loved to garden, and her garden was a joy to behold. The heavenly scents and the colourful blooms of all of her favourite roses and plants made her heart and everyone who visited her home sing. Anne was creative. She could sew. Her profession was as a seamstress, and Anne could sew beautifully. She was a wonderful, delicious home cook. She had her own recipe book, handwritten in an exercise book, and Anne and Mum had an abundance of treasured cooking books and recipes that would be the envy of any chef. Grooming standards. Anne always looked her best. She was a lady tastefully turned out, lipstick applied, hair coiffed, a lady hanky in her handbag, and Anne was likened to a beautiful porcelain doll, fragile, well presented and delicate. Anne certainly was a fashionista. She had an understated, refined elegance. In her younger years, Anne rode her bike everywhere. She certainly was one. Working on the farm, she rode tractors, she got stuck in and was one lady never afraid to get her hands dirty. Anne was also one of the first females to obtain her driver's licence. Anne loved to travel and did so extensively all over Australia. She was a pet lover, and we make special mention of Dan, her cat, and her numerous beloved chooks. Anne was very house proud. Her house was a warm home where everything was always neat and tidy. Anne had the most beautiful smile, and this is what she was known for, along with her positive and her cheerful nature. Anne also knew that to have good friends and neighbours, well, then you needed to be a good loyal friend, for friendship is a priceless gift. And she lived by those words and formed many lifelong and enduring loving friendships in her lifetime. So let us remember Anne and Mum here today, with our hearts filled with love and gratitude, as we pay tribute to a beautiful, kind, loving and gentle soul, and as we celebrate a life very much loved and a life very well lived. And now we come to the heart of the service, as I now invite I invite Catherine, Anne's beautiful daughter. She's coming up to share some special memories with us.
So anyone that knew Mum or Anne knew that, as Maureen mentioned earlier, that she loved her gardening and her flowers. Her favourite flowers were roses, and I chose this coffin partly because of that, and the other one is because it's called the Eternal Garden. And if that's where she's gone, she'll be happy forever. So when I was a little girl, we had a house out near Bathurst, and she started a garden out there, and Dad told me that she would plant seeds. I don't actually remember her doing this, but she would plant seeds and she couldn't wait for them to sprout. So she would actually dig the seed up and have a look to see if it was taking root and growing. So she also, this is in a time before DOCS was even conceived of, she used to get me to cart rocks to make her rock gardens. I mean, they must have been like this big probably, but at the time I thought they were huge, and there were horrible little bugs that came out of them. So I wasn't very fussed on a garden, but I look back at it with fond memories now. The other one that Maureen mentioned was that she's a fabulous cook, and you just would not believe how many cookbooks she had. She one time she made me promise that I wouldn't tell this, but I think I was about 8 years old, and everything she did, she wanted to be perfect. And she cooked a cake, and it sunk. It was in the middle of I thought it was all right, but anyway, she's like, got it out of the oven, and she went, "Don't you dare tell your father." So he found out about this last night for the first time and laughed. So she's probably going to strike me with some lightning tomorrow for telling that one. So Mum, yeah, she was a brave lady. She was just tiny. Anybody that knew her, she's just, just over 5 foot and about 6 inches wide. But in the days when women really didn't drive, 1956, she got her license in a 1939 Ford. And one time she was practicing, and it was out near Forbes, and she's driving in a paddock, and the car hit a briar bush, and it stalled. And luckily, the gods were looking down on her, because there was actually a great big mine shaft right in front of it. So if the car hadn't stalled on the briar bush, then we wouldn't have had her, and I wouldn't have been here. So that was lucky. I guess we did have Mum around for a lot of years. That might not have ever happened. So yeah, with the cookbooks, I started to mention that you'd have absolutely no concept of how many cookbooks she had, and I can't describe it to you. You'd have to see it. And I actually think that the foundations of the house will probably rise by about 2 inches once I take those cookbooks out of there. So anyway, I hope that she goes to an eternal garden, and where she can be happy forever until we get up there and can see her again. Thank you, everybody, for coming and sharing this time with me.
Thanks, Catherine. It takes a very brave heart to get up here when your heart is aching, so well done you. It's beautifully said. So we've all heard some heartfelt words describing and honouring Anne, and now we're going to look at some photos of her life. So I'm going to ask everyone to please be upstanding, and we're just going to stand in front of the TV screen. It's only for about 3 minutes, and we're going to listen to You'll Be There by Faith Hill.
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad, 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams, I always see you soar above the sky. In my heart,
Tequila.
Yeah.
That's our elders. Yeah. They came to that children. Unreal. Amazing. Photographs on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm asking everyone to take a seat, but I'm going to ask you to stand up again very shortly because we now have an opportunity for everyone to come forward and place a flower with Anne, and it's time for you to say your gentle and your personal goodbyes as we listen to Heaven's Gardens.
Tell me if heaven has a garden, could you take my mama there? Walk her slowly to your flower bed, pick her roses for all the words are said. Kiss her gently on her soft cheek, carry her if her legs are weak. Please tell her I'm okay down here. Does she see me? Can she hear? I've heard heaven has a garden, with angels singing on a cloudy bandstand. Up in heaven, in the garden, won't you take my mama there by the hand? She left me with memories made of gold. Her gentle love was a wonder to behold. Ask her to sing her favorite song from way down here. I'll sing along. I've heard heaven has a garden, with angels singing on a cloudy bandstand. Up in heaven, in that garden, won't you take my mama there by the hand? Won't you take my mama there by the hand?
And I now share a special poem for Anne that Catherine has chosen in honour of her mum's beautiful garden, and it's called Anne's Garden. They say it's a beautiful journey from the old world to the new. Someday we'll all take that journey up the stairway that leads to you. And when we reach that garden where we are free from pain, We'll put our arms around you, Anne, and we'll never part again. For we looked around your garden and we found an empty space. And then we looked upon the earth and we found a lady full of grace. A golden heart had stopped beating. 2 hands were laid to rest. The garden must be absolutely beautiful because heavenly gardens only take the best. Catherine would like to thank everyone here and those watching on live streaming for taking time out of your day to share in this celebration of love and Anne's life. Please know that all dear friends, wonderful neighbours and everyone's help, concern and love added to the quality of Anne's life, and it was and is greatly appreciated. And we all understand it's very difficult to talk about all the aspects of Anne's wonderful life in this very short amount of time, and Catherine knows and appreciates this. So she warmly invites everyone to join her at the Sunken Monkey at Erina at the conclusion of this service. And this is where you have your opportunity to share your memories and perhaps tell your tales about Anne and Catherine in a more relaxed atmosphere. Catherine really looks forward to hearing that from you. And now I share the Celtic blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sunshine wall upon your face and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may we hold each other in the palm of our hand. And now it's time for us to say goodbye, thank you, and farewell to Anne and Mum. So Anne, you closed your eyes and were taken to a beautiful garden place and left us to try to understand. Others have taken this, we know, but you are ours and we loved you so. You'll be in our thoughts every day, in our hearts, you'll always stay. A silent prayer and a tear too. We will always love you and miss you. Go with our love, in time we'll understand. So go with our blessings and return into loving, tender, gentle hands. Family and loved ones, if you are able, I kindly invite you to all be upstanding. Tenderly and reverently, we release Anne and Mum's earthly body and gentle soul to be returned to Mother Earth. We thank you, Anne, for showing us that good manners cost nothing. We thank you for leading by example and being a wonderful role model and mentor. We thank you for your thoughtfulness and your considerate ways. We thank you for being an honest, a truthful, and a very good person. Please know that your love has made all of us better people. Your warmth and your many good deeds never went unnoticed and will always live on. Your spirit is now free, and you are now freed from the challenges of earthly living, and all your earthly duties are now complete. So you have our permission and our blessing to leave, and we find great comfort knowing that you are meeting up with all your loved ones who have passed before you on the other side. So wishing you, Anne, love and happiness. So rest now in gentle peace. And now invite Brian and Catherine. We'll invite you to come forward too.
Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near Father you does things to me never before. Has someone been more
unforgettable in every way,
and forevermore? That's how you'll stay.
That's how you'll stay.
That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
Thank you, family and loved ones. This concludes our service here today for beautiful Anne. And let us remember, goodbyes are not forever. Goodbyes are not the end. They simply mean we will miss you until we meet again. So please go in peace, stay safe and stay well. God bless.
That's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near or far,
Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me never before. Has someone been more
unforgettable in every way,
and forevermore? That's how you stay.
That's how you'll stay.
That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.